In last night's fundamentals class, we worked on nagewaza, which are throwing techniques, how to take the opponent's balance, and there are a whole bunch of these. We were working in ryusui iki. Ryusui iki is dragon water coming or dragon water flowing, the idea of taking gravity and using it to your advantage. And there are different methods, different principles we use in here. These are not necessarily specific techniques, but they're ways of dealing with someone when they throw you to the ground. We did tachi nagare, yoko nagare, and last night we did kuruma. Kuruma means wheel or vehicle or car. So kuruma is the idea of spinning. It's a rickshaw. It's how you transport somebody. They throw you to the ground, but then you recover and you throw them and you end up in a dominant top position, whether it's in the side mount, top mount. Kuruma is not necessarily the kata. It's a principle of taking the opponent's momentum, using gravity and timing and distancing, staying close to your opponent and coming up on top where they didn't expect you to. They expected you to be in the submissive position. All of a sudden you roll, you kuruma, around and you're in the dominant position. This is why it's so important to come to martial art classes. You can't theorize about this stuff. You have to be on the mat and try it out. You have to experiment and work on these things physically. You'll see some details in the next couple clips that make no sense because you weren't there, so they lack context. And the video is not about teaching a kata, it's about showing what happens in between our practice. The students and the teachers practice alike, and then we discuss, we talk about what works, what doesn't, what if the guy does this, what if he does that, what type of skill set of fighter are we talking about, how do different people's ages and body sizes change the technique. Can we take these old principles and apply them to modern America, the way we dress and move and act? Are they legally binding? How will they hold up in a court of law? This is what's so cool is you can't theorize about martial arts. You can't talk about it. You can't think about it. You can't type about it. You can't comment about it. If you're not in the game and on the mats and physically moving around, it's just theory, and it has to be practical. It has to be applicable. And the only way to get that is to get to your dojo and do these things physically so that they become part of who you are. The muscle memory is honed and sharpened, and they become who you are. And all of these techniques that we do every night, throwing, punching, kicking, you name it, can be applied philosophically to what happens in our life. And we use these principles like kuruma. When I have a bad day, how do I roll out of that? When I'm getting depressed, how do I get back up on my feet and continue on and on and on? This is that wheel, that vehicle, that car that we ride through life in. And it's a constant motion. The only constant is this change of the wheel. The best times of my life will all of a sudden become the worst. The worst days will become the best. Sickness and health, life and death, all of these things are a wheel. And these little tidbits of knowledge that the teachers in this case, in this class, at this time with these people are showing might give me the little nugget of wisdom that I've always wanted and desired through my questions. And that's what martial arts is about. It doesn't matter what the style is or where the school is. It's about getting to your school and doing the activity and finding the secrets that lie within. Hundreds and hundreds of teachers over the years have brought us these traditions. They are beckoning us from the grave to continue on these martial art practices because they know that deep down when you can protect yourself and your family, you feel good, you have purpose, you wake up in the morning with something to do. This is one of the keys to happiness. It's one of the keys to winning, is not theorizing and talking about something, but getting out and doing it. All of these people behind me knew that living is learning. It's always constant learning. And we never quite get to where we want to be. But the whole fun part is trying it and doing it and failing and succeeding. This is what makes martial arts so damn cool.
The mummy arm fall. That's all it is. You know what's crazy is the Gansekanage one, it's just the mummy arm fall. Okay? The Osotogake one is just the mummy arm fall. Quit making it so difficult. It's just you have it here and you go. That's it. Okay? The Gansekanage one, you just happen to be here. But it's just, that's all it is. And absolutely under no circumstances is this. ever over. I have a half guard, right? Full guard, half guard. But here, if he starts to post up or starts to turn, I can go side mount and start to pull. Or we can come up and give him the full.
What's pulling him over? I know you've got a hold of him up here. Is it the motion of the Ganseki Nage's already initiated? So it's okay.
As he starts, because he's generating the force, right?
Right.
I'm here. I'm just grabbing
Okay.
and keeping it in the same proximity. There's no effort on my point, on my part. I'm holding it here and I'm not extending. So when I sit, it never changed. So don't think.
Just flow.
As you start to, he'll take in the Ganseki Nage, and you already start to pitch, just bring yourself and sit.
Traditionally, we would go here and we would hold that. Today, I don't want you to do that. I want you to give him something to grab. And then on the throw, hug his shoulder or her shoulder. All right. If you go real slow. If I'm like this, that is bad news because he's going to roll right over that, and you're going to hear a wrist break. So hug that thing. Okay, that's really important to do. We're here all the time. Ganseki Nage is a very hard throw to do, but once you get it, it becomes easy. It's just hard to get it. All of you need to practice on Ganseki Nage. Anybody that's level 1, you guys get a free pass because you're seeing it now. But that's why this class is so important, because guess what? You're getting to see something that you're not going to see for a long time.
To follow along with that, it needs to be during the Ganseki Nage. Remember when Dale spoke up about the Osoto Gake, and it's like, man, it's going to be really hard with Aaron kneeling on my chest, right? Because he's thinking about the end. How do I do it after I've hit the ground? But that other movement wasn't after. It was during. So as he starts to fall, he goes, I can do this thing before Aaron kneels on him. This is the same thing. If you get into Ganseki Nage and you have them and they're fully extended, you're going to trash them. It's too late. You're going to get thrown. So it needs to be during the movement. So progress slowly through that beginning portion so that we can get that window of that aha and snatch the uniform. Put the elbow in, move through it at a slow pace, and then you can see the hole that you dive into.
You see this? Did you see how much space he took? It's because I'm going to tackle Mr. Norfleet now. Ready? You guys ready? Here it is. Why did he do a technique on me?
It's too far away.
You didn't keep
Why? Because I stopped moving, and that's what you guys are doing with the push. So you guys, you're going to do the push, and you're stopping, and now I have no more. I'm not going to throw him in Ganseki Nage ever. You understand? I haven't told him we're going to do this yet, but he can come with a push. I'm going to grab him like this, and I'm going to sit, just like we did last week. Okay? Just roll over, and then I'm going to mount him. You're going to get punched in the mouth, but that's what happens. So we're going to start right here. You can do it from a push, or you can just do it from a static grab. Doesn't matter. You might want to start with a static grab. I'm going to grab him. I'm going to sit on his feet, just like we did last week, right? Woo, but he's going to roll, and now I'm holding him, and I'm just going to pull myself right back up on top of him in the mouth. A lot easier. A lot less steps, okay?